Well, good evening, everybody. This is Maxine English, and welcome to my first live show. This is my launch show of The Fearless Within You, and what I'm going to be talking about today is everything to do with your fears and also confidences, anxieties, self-esteem. And I'll be doing this every Tuesday, filling you with content. Now, I really hope that I can get some comments from you, because that would be absolutely amazing. If you want to ask me any questions, and then I'm happy to answer. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about me, because obviously a lot of you won't know much about me. I was born in 1978. I'm going to be the big 40 this year. And that's quite a scary thing on its own, to be honest with you, because, when you're talking about age and you sit there and when you're younger and you think, oh, 30 is really old, and now I'm going to be 40. And I'm just thinking, oh my days, what am I going to do? Hello there, Debbie and Khalida and Jacqueline. I hope you're all well. Welcome to my first show. Woo! I know, it's all really exciting. I know I did my pre-launch last week, and there's a lot of information to be had and to sort out before you actually do something like this. So I thought, well, trying to get to know as much information as possible, and I've been filling my brain with lots of information. It's just been coming in loads and loads at a time. So yeah, it's been lots. And talking about fear itself, it's like one of the fears is actually talking to you like this. This was one of my fears, not even 6 months ago. But we'll go back to that anyway. But let's talk a little bit about me, so you know a bit about who I am. Now, I've gone through quite a lot of adversity in my life, and the reasons why I've been called the fear fighter is because of everything that I've gone through my childhood, through my teenage years, right up to now. I mean, I've got a daughter at the moment that goes through ADHD and Tourette's and anxiety problems, and I have to deal with anxieties on a daily basis. I mean, it was only last night that we went to Pizza Hut because I hadn't spent no time with the kids over the 6 weeks holiday, and there was some guy shouting in there, and she had a complete mental breakdown. And it was just like, she was sitting there crying and screaming because his man had got really angry. And something like that can be so hard for a child. But not only that, is a lot of it can, thank you Jacqueline, fear fighter. Some of that can, things that are going on around you, it could be things that you do, somebody else does, it affects other people. And can you all hear me okay? I've not got my microphone plugged in or anything, and I'll tell you the reasons why in a minute. But can you just let me know if you can all hear me, if you can give me some thumbs up, or whether you can let me know on the screen to make sure that you can. I'm trying to lean forward as much as I possibly can. Can you all hear me? Roxanne, perhaps you can let me know. Can you hear me okay? Yep, brilliant. Thanks, Debbie. Amazing. Okay, cool. Right, so yeah, so we were talking about that. I took the kids to Pizza Hut last night, and the thing is when you've got people, yeah, plain English, exactly. That must be Roxanne. They call me plain English because I'm very blunt and to the point. It is very much for me to try and do a 30-40 minute interview. It's not the easiest thing for me, because for what people say in 40 minutes, I say in 5. So I'm trying to make sure that I slow down, that you understand everything, and that I say everything quite clearly. So, hi Serpa. Yeah, so what we were talking about is going through anxiety, and fear overcomes us on a daily basis. I went through a lot of fear through my childhood. Through my dad was a quite an excessive drinker, and he used to take it out on me quite badly. And how did you guess? Because I know you, Roxanne. That's why. Yeah, so it's very much that with the drinking side, it is something that I had every week in my life, really. Weekends were a bit of a nightmare for me, and you'd think that, trying to get away from it would be great to go to school, but I was bullied quite a lot at school. So when it comes down to things like that, it was quite hard. And I found that when you act like prey, then the hunters come and hunt for you. And the more people put me down and the less confidence I had, then the more I got bullied. And you find that whether it comes down to business, whether it comes down to you working for somewhere, whether it comes down to being a parent, where it comes down to anything in life, it's very much that you have to take control of everything and you have to move forward. And you know, it's the way of life. You just got to keep going no matter what. I mean, overcoming fear is a massive thing. It's the one thing that does hold you back in your life. And what you need to do is I'm going to go through a few steps with you. Now, there's a little bit of fear that happened in my life today. Is I had to ring Roxanne earlier because this live was actually meant to be on Be Live. And it was meant to be that I could put lots of things up and do little things at the bottom to say who I was. And I was really looking forward to going through it all. And it come down to that I checked my screen at 7:15 tonight. And the problem that happened is that my Be Live didn't work. My desk that I bought 3 days ago now is still sitting on the floor ready to be put up, and I've not had time to put it up. And my tripod hasn't got something to hold my phone, which I forgot to buy. And it also comes down to, so I'm actually sitting in my bedroom today. I've got my computer on top of a box. I've got my phone sitting in front of my computer. So for everything that I need to say, just in case I forget anything, it's just above me. So if you see my eyes go up, it's because I'm actually reading a couple of cues rather than having it on the screen. And I'm leaning forward so that you can hear me to make sure that my microphone is working okay. So I could have actually just crashed and burned, and I was like, I rang up Roxanne and I said, like, you know, it's not working. And it's like, I need to get over it. I need to just move forward with it. And what can I do? So here we are, sitting in my bedroom with a box, sitting on my bed with everything around me that I should be working with right now. And I'm just doing it on my phone, on Facebook Live, because then it's out there. And this is the thing, is in life, so many people just wait for everything to be so perfect that they never move forward. So I've wrote down a few things about overcoming fear. So best thing to do is take time out. Your biggest thing is to relax. I mean, I could have been really stressed and gone around and gone, oh my God, what am I going to do? You know, but I didn't. I sat there, I worked it out, and I thought about what I needed to do to solve the situation. Because when you're in a complete flutter in your head and you don't know what you're doing and where you're going, it's very much that, you know, your judgment is completely clouded. You know, you need to physically calm yourself down. Whether you want to go and give yourself have a shower, you know, go and put some makeup on for the girls. You never know, it might be for the boys too. You never know. Oh, who's to judge? Or go and make yourself a cup of tea and sit down for 5 minutes and don't worry about it. Because at the end of the day, I couldn't change anything today of what happened. What happened, happened. So I just had to go with what I've got. And you would need to do the same. Just need to take time out, just to chill out, calm down, and just move forward with it. So that would be the first step I'll say to you about overcoming fear. Just reading a couple of the messages here. Very true, because we attract what we focus on. Yes, that's exactly that. And the more we focus on them things, is the more we attract it. So if you've got things in your life that you're going to panic about and you're going to, you know, run around like a headless chicken, you know, it's more and more things in your life you'll be running around like a headless chicken with. Things happen to you, but you have arrived. Exactly that. I'm here. I'm doing the live. You're seeing me. And it's not perfect because it's not the way we always want it to be. But sometimes we just have to wing it and get on with it. So that's what I'm doing. A winner finds its way. Oh, very lovely. Thank you ever so much. That's exactly that. Okay, so that's the first one. That's the first step I would say to you, is take time out. The second thing I would say is breathe. You don't need to panic, because when you get yourself all het up and your heart is beating really fast and you're like, what am I going to do next? I don't know what to do. And then you get your sweaty palms and your head feels all tight and you get all frustrated, you know, and then you get knots in your stomach, and then you turn around and say to yourself, I can't do this. This is not going to go right. I can't work with this. And you've just literally just defeated yourself before you've even started. So it's very much that you've literally just got to be there in the moment and just breathe. Hold your hands on your stomach and just go, it's okay. We can do this. We can do this, no problem at all. And just stand there for 5 minutes, just breathing. And you'll be surprised with the oxygen that goes into your system, how much that calms you down. Okay, so step number 3, face your fears. Now this is a massive challenge for some people. Facing your fear is one of the biggest things because it can be so crippling to some people. You know, some people is you know, the thought of actually going up really high. I mean, I went on holiday a couple of weeks ago, and a friend of mine, she's scared of heights. And I turned around and said to her, I said, "Go on, come on the roller coaster." And she was like, "No, I can't do that." And I'll come on one of the other rides. No, I can't do that. And I was like, right, we need to face this. We need to sit there and we need to talk about this, and we need to see the reasons why you're afraid, because some people are afraid and they don't even know the reasons why. I mean, imagine a little tiny spider. Yeah? That's not a little tiny spider, I know. This is a little tiny spider. But imagine a tarantula. Let's go worst case scenario. Imagine a tarantula, right? This tarantula is not going to kill you. It's not going to hurt you. But if you put your hand out, it would sit on your hand and it would just sit there. What is there to fear about it? How many of you can sit there and go that you don't like spiders? Hands out who don't like spiders. Spiders don't bother me. Snakes don't bother me. The one thing I don't like is the dark. My biggest fear growing up was the dark. But I know where my fear come from. My fear come from that I was alone in the dark and I was half asleep when I was young. I must have been about 7. Yeah, about 7. And I'd said something really horrible to my mum, and I called her an old bat. And I don't know why, something happened, I just called her an old bat. And when my dad got in, he'd run up them stairs and he flung my door open and he started shouting at me. And he was like, "How dare you call her this?" And I just woke up with a startle, and he was like chasing me around the room. And since that day, I have got this fear of being in the dark. But is it because of it takes me back to that time? Or is it because that I wasn't awake? Or is it something else? See, the thing is, when you face your fear, my friend, I got her on a Helter Skelter, and some of you might have seen the video that I sent over, and it's like, I said to her, "You can go and do that." She's like, "No, I can't get up." I said, "Look, I will come with you, I will stand behind you, I don't want you looking down, I just want you to look forward. I just want you to get your mat and walk up the stairs." So one step at a time, she walked up the stairs. And she would sit there saying, "I can't do this." I went, "You can do this, and you are going to do this, because there is no backing down, because I'm behind you, and I'm not turning round. We're going to go up them stairs, and we're going to do it together." So she got to the very top, and she looked over the side, and she just looked at me, and I see how scared she was in her face. And I said to her, "Look at me. You can do this. No matter what, you can do this. And you're going to get on your mat, and you're going to go down that slide. The kids are doing it, you're going to do it." And she got down that slide, and she got to the end, and she got off, and she told me she hated me. Now the thing is, it wasn't about the fact is she hated me. The fact is that she'd done something that she never thought she could do, but she did it. Now seeing Deborah here, oh my God, yes, it's so true. And I had a little chat with Deborah on Sunday, because she was at the Yes You Can Inspire to Achieve. And she was saying to Bradley, and I was overhearing because I was earwigging a little bit because there's nobody else there, about how scared she was and how fearful she was about going through, you know, through her story. Because it was quite emotional, and it's something that she'd not said out loud or said to anybody else. Now, I know where she comes from with that, because a month ago I did exactly the same thing. And we sat down and we had a chat, and we went through a few things, and she did it, and she was absolutely amazing. And for her to get that out was such a massive thing to overcome. I don't think she even realises it enough herself yet, is that it will make life so much easier when she does it next time. And she will do it again. And Deborah, I can probably guarantee you will do that again, and it will feel so much easier than doing it from the first time. And I'm so proud of you that you done it. And you got your reward to sit there on your mantelpiece. You're more than welcome. She said, bless you. You can put that on your mantelpiece now, and you look at it every day, and you can turn around and say that I did this, and if I can do this, I can do anything. And Jacqueline's just put FEAR, fear, false evidence, appearing real. Now, you don't know how ironic that is, Jackie, because it was only this week, just gone, that I actually did a slide, and I actually put exactly that with my picture on it. And I was going to put that out there today, but I thought as it was my first one, I would put obviously the show on there. And yes, Deborah, she was fantastic, Jacqueline, she was. See, and every single person that ended up being there on that Sunday was amazing. There was so much positivity in the room. There was so much energy in the room. And even though that we got Brad to stand still for longer than 5 minutes, it was still there because, you know, he done what he needed to do that day, which some of you that wasn't there, Brad is like a live Duracell bunny, and he's just like, he's on the go, and he's absolutely brilliant, and, you know, he's giving everybody energy. And we said to him, look, you know, take a bit of a back seat this time because you need to save your energy ready for next month for the big event. And not only that, he needs to chill out a bit so we can all help him. And he did really well. And yes, right, Deborah, they were all amazing. And he did really well, and he did take a bit of a back seat, and he had a few different, you know, massages and therapies done, and it was absolutely brilliant. And the thing to him as well is that, you know, with Brad, it probably wasn't a fear for him to let go, but it's his baby. And to let go of anything is a hard thing to do. And I think he done amazing. So, well done, brothers. You done really well. And the whole 12 of us are really proud of what you achieved on Sunday. So well done on that one. Let's give him some loves, guys and girls. It's he done really well there. So yeah, so going back to what we were talking about before. So we've just been talking about, for anybody that's just joined, we've been talking about taking time out to overcome fears. By calming yourself down. Also breathing through the panic. And, you know, don't ever fight it. You know, when you've got your heart beating faster and your sweaty palms, and, you know, don't fight it because you'll never overcome it like that. You just need to breathe through it. And just say that you can do it. Facing your fears is the next thing that we were talking about. Because the more that you face something, the more it will fade. And the more it fades, and then it won't no longer become a fear. I mean, there's a bit I put on here just now. If you panic one day getting into a lift. How many of you don't like lifts? My daughter don't like lifts. But she's never actually got stuck in a lift. She's never actually, you know, known anybody get stuck in a lift. It's just the fact is that, you know, something closing and her not being around with anybody else, it's just a worry. Things like that does happen, but you just gotta, you know, you fall off a horse, you got to get on the next day. You have a car accident, you got to get in the car. You know, anything you do, you just got to do it the next day. So I'm doing tomorrow, I'm going to be going on Be Live TV, and I'll be learning properly how to do it all and making sure I'm ready and raring for you on Thursday, because I've got a special guest on Thursday. But we'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. So yeah, so that's number 3. So on your 4th one, what is the worst that can happen? Imagine the worst thing that can happen to you on your fear. If you've got a spider and it bites you, it's going to nip you. That's it. If you're scared of heights, your leg's going to go wobbly and you're going to crouch on the floor. That's it. Yeah? That's what you got to think of. The worst thing that could possibly happen. You've been through it once already. Don't worry about it. It will all overcome. It's just anxiety playing with tricks in your mind. It's all about control, and you don't want fear to control you. Visualise a happy place. Meditation. Meditation is a brilliant thing to do because you can sit there, just close your eyes for 5 minutes. Visualise your favourite place, whether it's a beach, whether it's walking in a forest, you know, even perhaps put some music on. Anything you can do just to calm yourself down. You know, that will be your best possible thing that you could possibly do. Be positive about what you've got around you. Okay, talking about it. How many of you actually have got this fear and you've never spoken about it? Because the thing is when when you speak about a fear, you make it become out in the open. And sometimes, I'm not saying every time, but sometimes when you talk about a fear, it doesn't seem that bad. Hello from Sweden. It's very nice to be global tonight. So yeah, so best thing to do is talk about your fear. And then, you know, by doing that, it will literally it won't feel as scary. And not only that, is when you talk to somebody that hasn't got that fear, they can help you get over it too. So it's always a good thing. Going back to basics is your next one. Yeah, the problem is a lot of people use drugs and alcohol to overcome an anxiety or a fear. It's very much that they sit there and go, do you know what, I'll just have a few drinks, I won't worry about it no more. The problem is alcohol is a depressant, and the come down that you'll get from the drugs will make you feel a lot worse than what you started out at. So the thing is to do is when you're fearing something, and you know, don't go to drugs, don't go back to alcohol, don't sit there and get drunk and not worry about it, because it'll still be there the next day. You just need to rest. Listen to meditation music or any kind of music that chills you out, Wowers if you like, or the sea. Have a nice good meal, talk to friends, and just go for a walk. That is the best possible, you know, thing that I can give you to do. And also, another thing you should do, the last thing that you should do, is every single time that you have a fear and you overcome it, you need to reward yourself. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be like going on an expensive holiday to the Caribbean for a week. You know, just give yourself a treat. Not just a pat on the back, something physical. Now, I'm not a materialistic person. You know, materialistic things have never really bothered me in my life. But I've had a massive week this week, and I have learned how to broadcast. I have been on my longest live that I've ever been. My longest live was about 3 minutes before that, and it's just rushing through it to get off the live. Yep, so I've overcome that. I've learned how to do a banner. I've got myself a new logo. I've wrote 4 chapters of my book. I've stood in front of a crowd that I've never seen before. I went out for the first time with the 12, and we went there as a group. I went on live with Bradley the other day, in front of people globally, and there's obviously a lot of people watching, and it was just like there is so much that's gone on this week that I even got to the point of overwhelm. And then Saturday we went to with Harry, and we was there, and we met Armand, and it was brilliant. And meeting new people and talking to new people and listening to what they've got to say and going through everything, and it was so good. But you know, everybody gets anxiety and worries about, am I going to sound all right? Am I sounding good? Am I going to ramble on? And I worry about that even now. But do you know what? It's rewarding yourself is a big thing, because like anything, it's like when look at Bradley's event for argument's sake. Thank you very much for being proud of me. Hello Rajan, good evening. Bradley's event. Every single person that speaks at that event gets an award. Now, why do you think that is? Anybody? The reason why you get an award, because you can actually sit there and look at it physically after and go, do you know what? I've just achieved this and I've done that. And that's exactly the reasons why you get that award. Say, I'm an award-winning speaker, and I can see it every single day, and every single day it gives you a boost to do it again. Yeah? And that's what you need to do. You need to reward yourself for everything that you overcome, every fear that you've overcome, anything that you've done. You know I've done amazing this week. And my reward to myself is I bought myself a new watch. It wasn't an expensive watch, but it's something that I've needed for a long time. And not only that, it keeps Bradley to his timekeeping. So with this one, it's like I decided to do that for myself today. And I know I needed to do something to go, do you know what? You've actually done really well this week. And it wasn't until that I went on to Harry's stage on Saturday, and he was talking about that, you know, have people come on and receiving, you know, and to me, it's like to stand there and receive was something so unusual to me. It's not something that I normally do. I just took everything as a pinch of salt. Is what happened. And I actually sat there and thought about it last night, and I was like, do you know what? You're so right. And whether when someone comes up to you and says they're so proud of you, just like Roxanne did just now, and normally it'll be like, oh yeah, thanks, and that'll be it. And it's not just about that. It's about open it up, and Roger, because you're worth it. Thank you so much. And you just got to receive everything you get given, because what it does is when you receive that, it boosts your confidence up. And when you get told that physically, it goes into your brain. I mean, look at what Khalida did on Sunday. For people that don't know that, if you haven't looked at the live when Khalida was on Sunday, she got everybody to turn to each other and say 3 things about them and about that other person, of how amazing they were, or you know what they did and how good they did, and what they said was really nice to each other. And so many people turned and said it was really nice to hear that from somebody else. And that's the thing. It's building confidence up to receive it. And once you start receiving, you will bring more onto you, and you will feel positive in yourself, and you will bring positiveness to you as well. So that's basically what we've gone through. So a very quick recap. I'm not going to go for everything on there. So we're just going to go through. So number 1, taking time out. Number 2, breathe through your panic. Number 3, face your fears. Number 4, imagine the worst. Number 5, look at the evidence. Yeah. Sometimes everything's a challenge. Look at the evidence. Just keep going. Don't try to be perfect. Life is full of stress. Look at me today. I'm on a box. I'm on my phone. Got the laptop behind me. Nothing's working. It's not perfect, but I'm here. Okay? Visualize your happy place and talk about it. Go back to basics and reward yourself. So that's basically what I'm going to be telling you today. Okay? Now, that's how my personal way of saying to you is that you need to face your fears. So that's my little bit of content to you today. Jackie's put, yes, we do struggle to receive. We need to be more open. Yes, that's exactly that, Jackie. And the thing is once you start receiving, you can give more. The thing I put out last week is that you've got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. And that exactly goes for confidence, it goes for fear, it goes for self-esteem, it goes for everything in life. You've got to love you. And once you do that, sky's the limit. There is no stopping you. Hi Anthony, nice to see you too. So that's the content that I'm going to be giving you today. Now, what I am going to speak to you about is our event in October. Now, what happened is I met Brad and the team back in August, and yes, it is true. You're right, Deborah, it is true. Now, I've been speaking to Bradley since April, and hi Pepper, where's Sol? I don't know where Maxine is tonight. I think she's working late, to be honest with you. So Double Trouble will be looking at the replay, no doubt, when she gets a bit of time. She's having a very busy week this week. I'm glad you'll be there. That's what I'm like to hear. Yeah, so I started speaking to Bradley in April, and we had a couple of conversations, just general chit chat. And I started seeing more and more posts about what Bradley was posting. And it come down to that I saw that he had an event going on in July, and I looked at what he was doing and saw some of the live, and I thought, well, do you know what, I might actually give this a go. And I had a bit of a chat with Bradley and was on the phone for about 90 minutes. And after he went through what he was talking about and what he did, I gave him a message back to say, look, I'm in. So this is where my journey first started. And with that, I was like, my first time speaking on stage, talking about my own personal stuff, something that I'd never said aloud to a group of people. And I was very worried about what I was going to do and how I was going to sound and how I was going to come across, and was I going to get it all out. And I just went out there and I wrote it all down, and I was even in the hallway coming to the break just before I was about to go on, and I was standing there, I was like, how am I going to remember all this? And I was like, right, just get the first bit out, as long as you've got the first bit of the story out, and then you just need to go with it, because it's not as though I don't know it, because I was there. So it was just building up my confidence in me and making sure that I could do it. Yeah, so I went out there and I did it, and I got a first prize. Now, absolutely amazing thing. First time that I'd ever got an award for being a public speaker, and I got my trophy for being a public speaker, and I got my trophy for being a winner. And one of my rewards was that I get to speak in October. Now, I didn't realise how big an award it was until I actually really looked it up. Now, I'm going to go in October on the 5th and 6th, which is a Friday and Saturday, at the Westminster Central Hall. Now, I was thinking, okay, stage, few people. And he said there's going to be quite a few thousand people over the course of, obviously, the weekend. And I was like, all right, okay. And then I looked at the hall. I was like, oh, it's absolutely huge. And it was like, do you know what? I've done it already. I've done it once. And it's just like doing it just to a bigger audience. Just a couple of extra people. And I'm actually really looking forward to it. And there is going to be so many people there. And Brad was going over it at the weekend that, you know, you've got the millionaire speakers that are like top of their game, that are absolutely amazing, that have been doing it for years. I mean, you've got people like Andy Harriton, and you've got people like Alfie Best, Armand Marin, who I spoke to at the weekend, and I met on Saturday, and he's turned and said to me that he's happy for me to do an interview with him on that day. So I'm looking forward to that one. Harry Sardinis, who we saw on Saturday, he was there. And we was going through everything, and we was talking about the week, like that particular week, and what was going to be happening, and the people that are going to be speaking there. And there was going to be so many amazing speakers that have gone through everything that each and every one of you are either going through now, or are going to be going through if you decide to be a public speaker or a broadcaster or an author or anything else. Hello, Mohammed. Yeah, so it's very much that they're going to give you so many golden nuggets on that day and that evening. And just listening to Armin on Saturday, and we were sitting there and listening to his talk for an hour, and I was like, this is a man that brings in £200 million every single year, and I'm sitting in front of him listening to his golden nuggets, and I'm like, I need to write some stuff down, and I need to get, and he's going, yeah, I can do that, and then he told us how to do it, and then somebody else in the audience said, oh, I can do that, and then he said, yeah, we can do that, this is how you do it. And there was so much good information that comes out, and that's just one person. Imagine what that would be like over a whole weekend of people that have gone through what you're going through now, or going to be going through. And you're right, Jacqueline, Armand Marin was absolutely brilliant. And, well, it blows my mind of what it's going to be like over that weekend. It's going to be amazing. So, yes, you've got those people. You've then got the transformational leaders. And we've got quite a few of those. I think there's about 12 there. I mean, Sabrina, who I was on the judging panel this Sunday with, she's going to be there, and she's one of the leaders there as well. And she did a talk, which I put on Facebook. She did a talk on Saturday, and it really makes you think. I mean, for what she came out with, and I'm going to repost it on here again, because for what she turned around and said was absolutely amazing, and I could sit and listen to her all day. I just wish she spoke a bit more. But I will listen to her more over the weekend. And Dave Lynch will be there, and he's an amazing person, and he's been in the military over in the US, and he's got so much to talk about, and I could listen to him for ages, but it's going to be the first time I get to speak to him, and I know that I'll be making his ears bleed a little bit, because I'll be listening and asking quite a few questions to him. Tim Burt, who we spoke to a couple of weeks ago, he was actually on one of Brad's lives, and he's over the US, and he's going to come over, and he's going to do a talk about what he does and how to do certain things. And I'm trying not to give out too much information, because they're all doing their own little thing, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So, you know, I'm trying to just put a few names in, so at least send some of them that you might know, but obviously not putting too much in there at the same time. You know, Louis, I like to be a little bit of secret squirrel. And you're also going to get the 12 of us as well. Bradley Chapman and the 12 on stage. So you're going to get, like, each one of us is going to say our few pieces on stage. And we're going to be sharing the stage with some massive people out there, and that's going to be so exciting, and I'm so looking forward to it. And to actually engage the audience that's going to be there, it's going to, the actual place is so big. I mean, when you get off of this live tonight, you know, go and look on Central Hall in Westminster and look how big it is. It's a massive round hall, and I'm just thinking about it now. Is if you did a Bradley Chapman, Yes You Can Inspire Achieve, from going from like 80 people to like thousands, it would just be like electrifying. The atmosphere would be like, you should be at Wembley. It would be amazing. Everybody would be up cheering, everybody would be dancing, and the music would be loud and it would be pumping, and I just can't imagine what it's going to be like, but I'm so looking forward to it. I really am. And you know, you're going to learn from the best. You can learn from so many different people. So make sure you've got like a good pad and a pen, and a couple of pens in case one runs out, with all the information you're going to be writing down, because there's going to be so much you're going to learn from people. So make sure you keep your diary clear for October. So it's going to be Friday the 5th and Saturday the 6th of October. The tickets are on sale, and they're going to be £47 for both days. Now that there is amazing, fantastic value. I mean, you expect to pay that for each day, but Brad's done it that you actually do that for the whole weekend. And to actually hear them people, you're never going to get that anywhere else. So you want to go on to like the Yes You Can Inspire to Achieve, onto the website, and you want to get your tickets in now. Because I tell you something, once this goes out, I mean, the tickets have only just gone on sale, and once this gets out, you'll be lucky to get yourself a seat. So get in there now as much as you possibly can, and get your ticket, because once you hear these people, well, there'll be no going back. You'll learn from the best, you'll grow in yourself, you'll grow in your business, you'll have loads of fun, you have lots of takeaways, you'll have loads of interesting golden nuggets that you can take away with you, and you'll have loads of things that you can implement into your business, and also into your personal life. Take loads of business cards with you as well if you are in business, and there's lots of networking to be done, because every single person, if you're talking to thousands of people in that room, you could network with every single one of them. And by networking, you know, overcome that fear if you've got a fear of meeting new people. You know, give over your business card, tell them exactly what you do, where you come from, you know, tell them a little bit about your business, and stay in contact, because contact and building your audience is the best thing to do. And once you do that, and a lot more people get to know you, and then, you know, you can take your business far. And even if people that you don't know who they know. So it might even be someone you give a business card to and they go, oh, thanks very much, and they can't help you. They might know somebody who can. And then all of a sudden you've got business globally, because a lot of these people coming from all over the world, they're not just going to be from London. You know, you're talking Scotland, you're talking in Ireland, you're talking USA, you're talking Finland, you're talking Poland, you're talking Canada, you're talking Africa. You've got some people coming from New Zealand. There is people from all over the world coming to this event. And I'll tell you something, if you're not going to come to this event, you are absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. So I'm going to leave you on that note. Is I want to see all of you at this event, 5th and 6th of October. I want to have fun, and I want to see you like having fun too. So I want to say thank you very much for listening. I want to make sure that you've taken away a few bits from you today that I've gone through. I want to make sure you overcome your fears, and anything I can do to help, send me a message. I've got coaching courses that I can put you on to if you need help that way too. I can do you a coaching call. You can go on one of their coaching courses. You know, whatever you want to do, I can do to help you out. I'm here. I'm only at the other end of Facebook, which is not far. I'm just here. Okay. So I'm going to leave you now. I want to say thank you for everybody that watched. I want to say thank you for everyone that's watching the replay. And you're more than welcome, Debbie. And, you know, keep an eye on what's going on, because there's a lot of things happening over the next few weeks and you want to be a part of it. And Raj and I will see you there. And you're more than welcome, Roxanne. And yeah, just believe in yourself and you will go far. So thank you very much. Enjoy yourself. And I will see you on Thursday. And just one quick snippet before I go. On Thursday at 8 o'clock, I'll be interviewing Adam Stott. He's a multimillionaire. He's a business owner. He's an author. He runs business courses. And I'm going to go through his fears and what he overcome to get where he did. And we're going to be speaking to him on Thursday. So make sure you tune in. And I'll see you then. Okay, guys. Thanks for listening. It's nice to take your time out. And I'll speak to you soon. Love you all. See you later.